another fun trick that's sort of a staple of puppy dog training and adult dog training as well. Getting a dog to roll over is a fun thing to do, and you can use it to help look at their paws or examine them, and to make them comfortable with being handled by other people and yourself, and for grooming. So there are some practical applications for rollover, as well as some fun ones. In our situation, we are going to start by trying to lure Lola into rolling over. So, we're going to use a handful of treats because we're probably going to also use a little bit of shaping, so that we can give her reinforcement and information the whole way through the rollover. What you're going to start with for your rollover, though, is to start with that first down that we learned before, where we lay down in one motion. I don't need to do sit because that would be double the work right now, because I need her to lay down to start rollover, so I'm going to lure her into the down. I'm going to give a click right there for when she first lays down. Now I need her to flip on one of these hips, so I'm going to start to lure this treat towards the side here. That's the next point where I want to click and make sure I gave her a little treat. Now, while my hand is full of treats, you can be sure that every click you hear, I'm making sure she gets a treat or two. Now, to lure her some more, I'm going to bring it to the side here. I'm going to give her a click and a nibble there. Every time she does a slightly more ratcheted version, yay, and one click at the very end, and what we call a jackpot, which means that I dumped a bunch of treats there to make a big impact. When you want to make a big impact with your dog about something they did, you can do what's called jackpotting. You don't want to go and click multiple times like applause. Much better to give the jackpot of treats. To give her the information about the rollover that says, wham, you made it to the end. You're going to do this a bunch of times until you don't have to do those ratcheted doses anymore. In a couple of repetitions, or maybe in a couple of days, I should be able to get her all the way over for one click. And some treats at the end. I'm going to see if I can get her to go all the way through it now, for maybe 1 or 2 clicks total. I'll give a click for that one, and let's see if I can get yay awesome. She did it in one complete motion this time for one click and treat at the end. When you're teaching rollover, remember, if your dog's not doing it readily, don't force them or put your hands on them. To make them do it, they're likely to do it the first or second time that way, but they're going to fight you more on it and ultimately resist and not enjoy the trick, and after all, it is just a trick in this case. So you can move on to something they like better and have just as much success. But for now, try to give it a whirl and teach Rover to roll over.